Hi guys, welcome back to Exposed, and if I'm welcoming you back and you like it here, I'd love it if you stayed and subbed. I'm drained, I can't keep my eyes open, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I want to get this done, so if I sleep late there's something for tomorrow, today. Anyway, should we jump into part 3?
Bar, back when you could have a drink at the bar. You will be alone forever. Then that's the way that it goes. I'll be alone forever with my animals. I will have a drink at the bar and end up having probably a better time if the guy didn't show up. So, speaking of somebody that probably can't be alone. Wait, Donna. Catfish, yeah. You're writing just nonsense because you're nonsense. Okay, bye. So the way that I will date is you cannot write hello and don't call me baby.
So no one's allowed to write hello? What the actual? I can't imagine anyone calling her baby, can you?
And don't be from Phoenix. Like, okay, wait, I'm going to just check my PayPal because poor Janet.
This is horrible.
Janet, you're fine. I don't want you to sit and be quiet. Janet sent me $40.
Who does that? Who announces that to the rest of the room? That was between you and Janet. And now she's doing this purely to make sure that everybody else that sent her money ups the stakes in future and doesn't just send her $1, they send her fucking $40 or $50 to outdo Janet. I just can't with this woman.
That's extreme. Thank you so much. What a sweet woman.
And you'll pay it forward when exactly?
I am crying because...
Never noticed this before. Look how shitty that fucking table is that she's got fringe on. I say it like that because, I said this back in the day, it's either Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels or Snatch. I can't remember which film. And there's this bloke in, he goes, "Listen, fringe." Oh, that you bump into me again, I'll cut your fucking Jacobs off. Jed's like, what are Jacobs? I'm like, Jacobs cream crackers? Knackers? His balls? Ah. See, that's the thing. She was saying, oh, I know, Cockney rhyming slang and it's up the apples and pears and blah, 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 blah. They never said it like that. The whole point of it was so that the coppers wouldn't know what the fuck they were talking about. So they'd say, and then we go up the apples and blah, 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 blah. So the police would be like, what are apples? If they said, then we go up the apples and pears, you can put 2 and 2 together and figure out it's stairs, can't you? And people don't go around using Cockney rhyming slang all the time. It's just the likes of Danny Dyer, Sir, King, whatever, Your Royal Highness, Mr. Dyer, sir. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If not, yeah, just ignore me.
Something. Look at everybody thanking you for me. I love
How about you thanking her for you?
That about you girls. Hi, Mandy. I know. I hope you can afford it. I'm going to assume you can.
I hope you can afford it. I'm going to assume you can. You know what they say about assuming?
Her brother died, and she
Why are you telling the world her business?
was very close with him. And she wrote me, and it did. I wrote back a lot to her. It did touch me. I don't know why it touched me more than
It touched you because you were a narc and you sensed she was an empath and it was someone you could squeeze.
think maybe once she said something on here, and yeah, that's what she said. That she doesn't like to talk because I think I snapped or something, which I really, unless you're a troll and I snap, like if I say to somebody, no, that's not how I do it. I'm an East Coaster. Like, I will say it's just how I am.
You know, maybe you should change how you are and be a bit more fucking polite.
Oh, I told you could write me and tell me. And so she wrote me, and she's like, I'm quiet, but I once said something, and I know it's your house. And I was like, I apologized to her and said, I'm really sorry because I really, really, from my heart, do not mean to make anybody feel stupid. I just feel like...
You don't mean to make anybody feel stupid. Maybe screaming, stop asking stupid questions at people, makes them feel stupid. So stop doing it. If it really bothered you and you really didn't want anyone to feel bad, you'd stop fucking screaming at people.
I can tell you that, like, because if one of you said it to me, like, like, oh, Lori, whatever, I'd be like, fine. I wouldn't be like, fuck you.
Oh, really? Would you? Really?
Now I'm going to the gossip site to trash you. Like, I feel like we're friends, Exactly, Tay-Tay. Like, I've done it to Tay-Tay. I've been like, stop texting me. I can't answer every fucking text, and I don't mean it that way, but I'm just very blunt sometimes.
Yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't be.
Snap back. I did. Now I'm a mom. She got promoted. So, like, kind of even with this guy, like, he was like, he answered the right way. He wasn't afraid of me. Like, I don't want people to be afraid of me. I'm so not to be afraid of.
No one's afraid of you. Who the fuck's afraid of her?
Donna. And Wendy gets me. Yeah, that's all I am. I'm a blunt East Coaster.
You could call yourself.
Okay, now we're going to get back to the story. Oh, Patty, that's sad. But Janet's brother...
Why are you telling
Janet's married,
story?
but still, her brother was like her rock and very part of her everyday life. So
none of your business to be telling.
Happily married, but it doesn't matter. It struck you, and which struck me. Good Shabbos, Lori Morgenstern. Oh, you got married on Valentine's Day. How cool. Okay, let me just go back.
I'm not listening. Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. Rude.
Okay, so he writes me back something that sort of settled me down. And he was like, if you want a video chat or whatever, but can you converse? And I didn't like that. I was like, who uses that word? And then...
I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. You have no right to be that fucking picky.
Yes, Abigail. I am one of the nice, even Burke will be like, my mother is one of the nicest people ever.
Yeah, until he wakes up and realises you're a narc. His day will come. Mine did.
Stop telling me to drink, Bumpy Ride. This is it. I'm not getting drunk. I don't need to get drunk.
Yeah, you
You
do.
drink. You do you. So extra with the vocabulary. So I was like, I really don't want to talk to somebody on the phone. I don't feel like having a conversation. I don't really talk to anybody. People know, like Nicole has called me and I won't answer the phone. I won't talk to people. Like, no. First of all, you need to text me and see if I'm around to talk. Hi, can you talk? And the answer will be, no, sorry, right now I'm really busy. And I don't talk to my best friends. I never, ever, ever call Burke. He calls me and I text. It's just how I am. So he's like, can you converse? I wrote my whole thing back. No, I don't want to because this and that. And he's like, that's fine. So I said, do you understand? He goes, I don't need to understand. But like I said in my profile, which I didn't read his whole stupid profile. Like I said in my profile, it's okay to text a little and video chat, but then I want to talk. So if you don't, that's okay. Take care. So I called him. Because I'm flexible.
No. You called him because, like when you did the thing at work and it's like, I need help. If you don't give me help, I'm going to have to leave. And they went, bye bye. You thought, shit, if I don't talk to him, I'm going to lose him. And he's a good catch. Yeah? It's only now you're making fun of him.
I'm not rigid. Which, by the way, he called me rigid. I'm not rigid. Now you know. I'm just not, I just don't talk on the phone. Like, I just don't talk on the phone. Like, to anybody, not even my son. I hate it. I hate talking on the phone, which should be the way to do it because so many things get misconstrued through text, but whatever. Okay. Because I'm also old fashioned, so I can't talk on the phone with music playing or the TV. It has to be muted. I can't talk on the phone.
Why is that old fashioned? I'm old fashioned. I can't talk on the phone with music playing. I'm the same. Because you want to give your, well, I don't talk on the phone either. I'm the same as her. But you want to give your attention to people that phoned you. So you're not going to have the telly blowing the roof off or whatever. When I used to talk on the phone back in the day when I was healthy and downstairs, the first thing you do when the phone rang is mute the telly. What? How is that old fashioned?
And be making my jewelry or cooking because Roberta does that and all I hear is pots and pans and water and da 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 da. Can't do it. I'm also the kind of person in the car. If somebody's in the car with me, I can't be listening to music because I can't have a conversation. I can't do that multitasking thing. So, but I'm not rigid. So he obviously really wanted to talk on the phone. So I called him and he answered. No, I wrote him and I said, all right, do you want me to text you before I call or just call? And he wrote, call. So I called and he answered, hey, Lori. And we talked for a while and he said some things that I really liked. Like he talked about women, but he also, I already know that he was like abused by women because he wrote that part of his profile, he knows what it's like to be assaulted and then women in his life. And this is what he's told me. Hi, Rachel. And I liked his voice. I mean, I didn't love it. I didn't think anything of it really. Was a little, It was a little pretentious, to be honest. It was a little too, yeah, man, I'm really cool. And so I find out that, he was abused, which I don't know what that means. And I really don't I don't want to know at this point. I don't really want to know.
No, finish the first sentence. I don't care. That's you all over. You don't care about anybody. You don't care about their story. You don't want to hear anybody else's point of view. Why you want to date anyone is beyond me, because they won't last. Because you are rigid and you're rude.
No. He had 6 children. This is what I find out in the first conversation, that when he was young, he was on his way to the Caribbean, and this girl, asked him to marry him 2 days after they knew each other. And he was like, oh, you know what kind of guy I am? Like, I'm going to the Caribbean. And she's like, I don't care. I want to have your babies. And she got his name tattooed on her inner thigh, whatever. And he raised all the kids. I said, why did you raised all the kids? Wasn't their mother involved? He's like, well, she wanted to pursue a career and travel. And he refers, I do not like, okay, along with ointment, I hate it when people say grandbabies. I don't like that. And my babies.
You've got a load of hang-ups, haven't you? They're not allowed to say hello. Certainly don't buy you any ointment. Don't use the word babies. Anything else in the list of fucking no-nos by Laurie Langer?
So I raised my babies, like raised your children. I don't know. I just hate it. It's like, and spread is.
Right, so if your friend's in hospital and they've just given birth, do you, when you're talking to other people, do you say, I'm going to see so-and-so and her new baby? Or not?
Seed. No, it sounds like he's a guy that just like is shooting his load everywhere, making babies. So I said, how long were you married for? 22 years. And remember, if this guy was so great, why is he on a free dating site? Why is he divorced?
Why are you on a free dating site? Why were you divorced twice? What has that got to do with the price of tea? Nothing.
Why is he retired? Like, he says that, like, who says they're retired when they're like in their 30s? Like, who cares? And you shouldn't be retired. I don't care if you win the lottery. Like, do something, invest that money. And I don't mean.
How do you know he's not doing something?
Volunteer. I don't want to. No, I don't mean volunteer either. I'm just reading.
Why aren't you working? This is funny, isn't it? She considers what she's doing working, but somebody who made enough money to retire and is giving back by volunteering, she doesn't think that's a good thing.
Wait a minute. What's this? Spread a seed. It might just be a match. Maybe you need extra. I don't know what that means, Lynn.
Because you are extra.
I think he is a baller because he had 2 chains. He's from LA. So.
I'm sorry, what's wrong with having 2 chains? I don't get anything that she's saying at the moment. It makes no sense.
In the middle of our conversation, he's like, oh, my kid just came in can I call you back? So I was like, yeah. So we get off. And his youngest is 21. So no, Penelope, no, because he's still, I know what he's doing. Let me go on. Let me finish. Oh, don't like me. 6 kids. Like I had one. I don't, oh my God. Then they're all going to have grandchildren. Oh, and I have 3 grandbabies. Oh, he said babies. I have 3 grandbabies. He moves every March. Okay, guys, don't read into this. Let's not read into every little thing. It doesn't even matter. He moves every March. He's been to every single state in the United States many times. He's lived in Japan. He's lived everywhere.
Is he on the American 10 most wanted list?
I didn't get into why he was retired. It has to do with music industry and things like that. So he says. He acted like he had a ton of money. No, oh my God. He's not a pilot. All right, purring lady. So what? Oh, so his birthday is the same day as Burke's. So immediately I liked him. And then he told me all of his kids' names and all of their birth dates and then interjected it like this. So Mark was born on November 1st, and then Akeisha was born in March. And then the youngest one was born in the middle of a snowstorm where I had to deliver her on the corner of I-9 and Route 52. That's a whole other story. So, like, really?
Like, really? Why are you shaking your head? What am I missing here? If you were telling the stories, you'd want him to be totally engrossed in your life. But see, this is the thing. She doesn't want to know all this stuff. She's not interested in any of it. She wants him to asking about her. That's all that she's bothered about.
I'm not saying the date. No, he just liked to travel, and he was obviously in the business. Then we talked about Trump a little bit, and he's like, "Yeah, Donald, he's totally conservative and likes Donald Trump, and he's black, so yeah." But yeah. So when I was at a party, I partied with Donald Trump and this and that, and so he knows Donald Trump. And then he mentioned Obama, and I was like, oh yeah, I voted for Obama, and he was like, Obama doesn't like black women.
Really?
Hates black women. So I was like, but he married Michelle, and he's like, well, he had a political agenda. I mean, when we went to, I don't know what school, but whatever, Columbia, I don't know where he went. He's mentioned a school. No, I don't know how long he's been on the dating site.
Wouldn't that be one question that you would ask? So, how long have you been doing this for? Have you been on many dates? Blah, 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 blah. I bet she didn't ask him because she doesn't ask anyone anything about themselves.
None of this matters. Why are you guys asking questions? I'm trying to tell the story, like interject, but like, who the hell cares? I would never ask somebody, how long have you been on the site? First of all, I don't care. And second of all, I wouldn't believe them. I don't care. And I wouldn't even say to him, why are you on this dating site? Because I don't care. Everybody has different reasons, but I thought it, but I wouldn't ask it. So So now I know that he delivered one of his 6 children. We talked about the stimulus. He's like, I don't even know what that was because, I don't even qualify for that. Well, I don't even know how much do people get. So now I'm thinking, okay, so he's retired, got tons of money. I talked about gas prices. He's like, I have no idea what gas prices even are. So, okay, so I'm thinking he has lots of money.
Not necessarily lots, but enough to not have to be scrabbling around in the dollar store buying cheese. Just because he said he doesn't know what the gas prices are, that's a man thing.
He calls me back. We talk. Yes, Abigail, his life story. Thank you, Ruthie. Calls me back, and he hasn't eaten all day, so he gets in his car and it transfers over, and he's like, can you hear me? I'm like, yeah. And I guess he's driving. And I hear him, like, he doesn't say, see, I would never be able to do that. I would not be on the phone with somebody I knew and drive and then just all of a sudden not say to them, wait, can you hang on a second? I'm ordering. I just hear him say, yeah, could I have the 12-foot long pastrami and the strawberry, well, the lemonade with half strawberry.
She listened, didn't she? Very attentive about what he ordered. She wasn't interested. Mind you, it's food, isn't it? Yeah.
And fries. And so I realized, oh, he's ordering. Like, that's shit that Burke does. And he does it with his mother. Hi, I'm okay now.
What's your problem?
Good. So I'm just like sitting, and I'm actually kind of jealous because I'm like, I could never do that. Like, be so nonchalant, you know? So she doesn't quite get his order. She's like, do you want sauce with that? And I knew where he was. I knew he had gone to EG's, even though I've never been to EG's, but I know that they have like amazing drinks. So we were, you know, and if I said to him, do you like sushi? I said, do you like sushi? He's like, I lived in Japan. So I'm like, oh yeah, the seafood out here is not so great and this and that. And he's like, yeah, I like sushi, but I'm a sushi snob. And I said, oh, me too. You know, so am I. And then I said, did you really just order pastrami? Because like, you order pastrami from New York Deli, period. If I went to Walmart, so I said to him, did you really just order pastrami? And he's like, yeah, I know, it's pretty good, but, you know, I know. Totally get it back at a deli, a real deli. And I was like, I was at Walmart and they had pastrami. And he goes, you know, I've never been to Walmart. I said, you've never been to a Walmart? He goes, no, I've never, ever been to a Walmart. And he's like, but I actually did want to go because I found out that one guy slept overnight at a super Walmart. So I really wanted to go and have sex there. And I was like, you wanted to go and have sex at a Walmart? And he goes, oh, yeah, I'm a freak. I'm a freak.
Oh, now she's interested.
Which I like. I like. That didn't bother me.
Why would it?
Except that he's like 6'7" and carries a Beretta.
Didn't you say he's over 6'5", but I don't know what height he is? Now he's 6'7". Has he told you that?
He could crush me like I could be dead.
He could crush you.
So I'd rather have a man that's a freak than Glenn with his pants too big and his navy blue hoodie. Can I just say, my nails look, if I was watching somebody whose nails look like this, I'd run right out tomorrow and say, I would screenshot it and I'd be like, I want these. They look so fucking good. Oh, well, that's why you've never been. Glenn. Oh, my God. Glenn probably would have premature ejaculated the minute he touched a boob.
Fuck's sake.
And this guy probably could hold off for so long that I'd be raw. Plus, then I was like, oh my God, does he have a big, huge...
Is this how her mind works? You haven't even met for drinks yet, and you're figuring out how you're going to shag him at the back of a Walmart.
penis? Like, I can't take it. I can't have a huge one. I did think about that. I was like, he's not going to fit in my bed. The squeaking, I wouldn't be able to straddle him because I can't straddle anybody because of my knees. Or it could be very long. Like, I just saw that there were going to be problems in the bedroom. Big black cock.
You foresaw there was going to be problems in the bedroom by talking to him on the phone. Wow. He's light. He was light black, as you could see. The penis would need a pillow. That's not even funny.
I liked him. I wanted to go out with him.
So why weren't you nice to him then?
It would have been so nice to have a big, tall man with money taking care of me. He probably had an Escalade or some big car. But it never would have worked. This would have been my first black eye. Not that I haven't kissed or slept with a black eye. I have, but this would have been my first dating black eye. I am, because I love being on top.
What did she just say?
6'7" and carries a Beretta. He could crush me like I could be dead. So I'd rather have a man that's a freak than Glenn with his pants too big and his navy blue hoodie. Can I just say, my nails look... If I was watching somebody whose nails look like this, I'd run right out tomorrow and say, I would screenshot it and I'd be like, I want these. They look so fucking good. Oh, well, that's why you've never been. Glenn. Oh my God. Glenn probably would have premature ejaculated the minute he touched a boob. And this guy probably could hold off for so long that I'd be raw. Plus, then I was like, oh my God, does he have a big, huge penis? Like, I can't take it. I can't have a huge one. I did think about that. I was like, he's not going to fit in my bed. The squeaking, I wouldn't be able to straddle him because I can't straddle anybody because of my knees. Or it could be very long. Like, I just saw that there were going to be problems in the bedroom. Big black cock. He's light. He was light black, as you could see. The penis would need a pillow. I liked him. I wanted to go out with him. It would have been so nice to have a big, tall man with money taking care of me. He probably had an Escalade or some big car. But it never would have worked. This would have been my first black eye. Not that I haven't kissed or slept with a black eye. I have.
So you've kissed and slept with a black guy, but this would have been your first black guy. How does that work? Exactly.
But this would have been my first dating black guy.
Right, this would be the first time you dated a black guy. So the black guy that you kissed and shagged was just someone round the back of a club then, was it? Classy.
I am, because I love being on top and I can't. And I also love doggy style and I can't do it anymore because of my knees. It's an issue, you guys. Okay, it's an issue. Like the CPAP is an issue. See, I feel that, and then I thought, this guy's never going to let me chew all of that gum the way, like I can do that with Gungor. I could sit and chew wads and wads of gum. I can wear a CPAP in front of him.
What the fuck has chewing gum got to do with anything? What is she talking about?
But I don't know how I'm going to do this. No, I didn't go out with him. Right. I work around sex. I've had sex since my knees. Yeah, but this guy's a freak. He's going to want to like, plus I can.
Right, when he said I'm a freak, that doesn't automatically mean that he wants you in fucking bondage gear hanging from the ceiling. It just meant he fancied doing it in Walmart. I can't get to grips with how her head works.
I figured out how to do doggy. I just can't be on my knees. So I kind of have to like, okay. I'm not overthinking. I'm being realistic. Like dating, people who have a colostomy bag have to think about dating. No, I need a young guy. That's what I need. A young guy. So, anyways.
Because a young guy's going to want an old woman with fuck knees and a CPAP machine. Where's your logic?
He would have been great. Like I'm tempted to almost call him and say, I miss you. Now I'm thinking maybe I should. This guy wasn't young. He was my age. Well, a little bit younger than me. Young guys don't want all the positions. They'll take, listen, you guys, I can't. He wouldn't meet with me.
Why wouldn't he meet with you? Is it because you were putting too many restrictions on? I don't do the phone, I don't do this, don't call me baby, don't bring your ointment, I don't like your babies. What is your problem? And she wonders why she's single. Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't set a date. He wouldn't meet with me. He called me again. So we talked for over 2 hours. Okay. Nicole, are you thinking of you or me? I'm not going to call him live. Maybe I should. He does have his own issues, but he blamed them on me. He's like, I hear a lot of pain. He's like too. I kept saying, I want to meet, I can't wait to meet you. I want to meet you and see if there's chemistry. And he was upset that he had sent me all of his poems. So I'm going to read you one poem. Oh, like he wrote this. Okay. I said to him, that poem makes me slightly sad because this does oh wait, his poem was, I love your kisses. I awaken with your scent on my face. No indecision. I love your smile and your grace. Ain't no competition. Nobody else can take your place. This recognition means that all your secrets and all your precious heart are safe. A previous one, concepts, like different concepts. Okay. Listen to this one. 25 is when I died, just like my brother did, like Pack. Heroes die young. Who did that murder bid? Ain't nothing inside. You wish I never lived, real nigga, till I die. Best
You're not supposed to read the N-word.
not run up on this. They say the good die young. Like satanic, so fuck you, son. Ruthless is how I live. Didn't even cry when I was born, motherfucking narcissist. I catch you one-on-one, look you in your eye.
Ah, maybe he twigged you were a narc. If he's had dealings with one before, he'll be able to smell 'em a mile off.
I'm just going through. I don't care. I just stare as life drains out of you. I'm a killer. It's such a thrill eradicating you, your Okay, so like that was like a. These are his poems. Here's another poem. I want to dive deep into your mind, body, and soul. Dive deep to find where your pain is hidden. I want to protect your heart as we shatter those barriers that you've placed around it. I want to meet you there in your darkest places. I want you, all of you, especially there in the depths, so deep that you sometimes feel like you're drowning because nobody is there to help you. So at this point, when I'm reading this, I'm crying. Not because of guys, because somebody says gross. Somebody says he sounds like a gangster. Well, he writes rap. I mean, because I'm thinking my mother. Okay, like I don't have any men issues. I don't have hurt from Gungor. I'm totally over that. Oh, maybe weed. Yeah.
How does that make you think of your mother?
Let me continue. These are written like from 2018, 2020. I want you, all of you, especially there in the depths so deep that you sometimes feel like you're drowning because nobody is there to help you out. And then I'm thinking of my mother and what she's done to me. And let my love surround you there. This is where our love begins. Open the door, let me in, and disappear into my arms and cry before we begin to dance together here, just us. This is our place to share. You no longer have to come here alone. So I wrote him back and I was like, and then he also sent me his 3 songs. And I said, he wrote, I'm eclectic. Thank you, baby. I said, I love eclectic, multifaceted like a diamond. He said, I sent various genres of poetry too. I said, the poems are real. At least parts of them are, as you said, some of the things in our conversation. So I can also tell that you've lived a life full of adventure, stories, etc. I can tell you're a special man. I'm going to enjoy getting to know you. And then he wrote another poem. Oh, fuck. Hold on a second. Bella can't find her. It's time for a Bella beating.
The fact that you can even joke about it.
All right, Bella, let's go this way. Oh. Work, 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 work. Okay, lie down.
God, I hate her.
Work, work. I didn't meet him.
Pardon?
So he wrote, I love your kiss. This isn't about me. It's a poem. I love your kisses. I awaken with your scent. Oh, I read you that. So then I wrote, your poems make me wish that somebody was feeling that way about me. Because you cannot write this unless you have loved. And I don't think I've ever been in love. I said, I've never experienced love like that. Or rather, I should say, I have never been loved like that. Because now I'm thinking my mother. I said, the poem makes me slightly sad because this does exist. I have just yet to receive it. But then it also makes me hopeful because if one man can write those words, then it exists in this life. He wrote, this is where I just melted. He wrote, I'd devour you. You have to allow it. If I can write about it, I can.
Right. Lardy, there's a big problem. He hasn't seen you. You've seen him. All he's got to go on is that catfish picture that you put up that looks absolutely fucking nothing like the woman sitting in front of this camera. And then, if you did meet him, he'd see the whole 360. You're living in La La Land. Put up your real picture, see who replies to that, and then when you go to meet up, there's no surprises.
With Andy one day. So I wrote, you're right. I have to allow it. It is also, I have to allow it. I also have to feel worthy of it and have to believe that I can have that. And there's a big part of me that doesn't think I will ever get love like that. Oh, fucking Bella.
Leave her alone.
She's so mean. Oh, that's the one that beats the dog. No. You have to go lie down. You're bumping into everything. Come on, Bella. Go lie down and stay. Lie down. I have to go to the bathroom.
Maybe she did too. She would try the patience of a fucking saint, this woman. How do you know Bella wasn't looking for water or food or the pee-pee pad? Hope she shits all over the new bed and you have to clean it. Right, she's flushed. Washed her hands?
Hold on.
No.
I need another glass of wine.
You need to wash your fucking hands.
Cow! The cow! Cow! Cow's a guinea pig. He's mommy's guinea pig.
Can you imagine him putting up with this? I can't. Deep thinking, poetry. Look at the way she does that with the fucking door. Really?
Okay.
Turn the light.
You guys, I need to know what to do because now that I'm thinking about. Okay, so quiet. Everybody be quiet. Everybody just be quiet and let me speak. I don't get hot and bothered by anything. Why does Bella go in the kitchen? Because that's where her food and water is. I know, Abigail, so strong, but...
So she went in the kitchen where her food and water was, and then you just hoiked her up and dragged her back to the bed before she had a chance to find what she was looking for. Have you ever really wanted to?
So then he called me and I was like ready to go to sleep, and he never mentioned about meeting. And I could tell he was going to call me all the time. And I acquiesced to that. I was like, all right, well, I don't like to, but I will. And he's
You didn't like his vocabulary, but you acquiesced to that.
like, and I'm like, because I want to see if there's chemistry. And he could not understand. Janet, do not apologize. I don't accept your apology because you did nothing wrong.
Why is Janet apologising? She sent you $40 for fuck's sake.
Cocos! I'm going to unblock him and see what he says. This happened 2 days ago.
Why did you block him?
Because I even had said to him, so, oh, Bella, maybe she needs to drink more water or eat. Wait a minute.
Do you think? Possibly? Fuck's sake.
Because then when we spoke, he's like, I don't understand why you need to meet to know if we have chemistry. I'm like, because I haven't met you. I don't know if we have chemistry. He's like, how many men have written and sent you poems? Like, that's me. That's my heart. I'm like, I know, and I believe that. Yes, I blocked him because I hung up on him. Let's not forget he has a big mole over his eyebrow, okay?
Go on, Bells. You're in the right direction.
You're not letting me finish the story. You'll know why.
That's it.
Right. So he was like, so I was like, I want to meet. And he's like, well, why do you want to meet? So I said, well, I want to see if we have chemistry. And he's like, you can't tell if we have chemistry? So I said, well, we have chemistry for as much as we can have chemistry. But I've felt chemistry with somebody over the phone where I've talked to them for a week and met up with them, and I had no chemistry. Like, chemistry is not a physical. And so he kept saying,
how many times is she going to say chemistry?
I don't care what you look like. I don't go by looks. I don't really either. Like, I once made out with a redhead, and if you ask me, okay, Lori, here's a...
I don't go by looks either. I once made out with a redhead. Really? What's that got to do? You're cutting off a whole section of the male population with red hair. Hey, a whole load of islanders just released a long sigh of relief.
redhead, on Bumble, I'd be like, no, because their personality doesn't come through.
Yeah, but how are you going to know what their personality is until you fucking take the time to talk to them?
What did Diane say? He wants to get married. So wait. So then here was the other thing. He was like, he wouldn't let me finish it. And so I kept saying, he's like, but we have chemistry. You just said that. Like, I sent you all that. I can tell you. So I said, yes. He wouldn't understand. He wouldn't let me finish either. He's like, I sense. He goes, I was a therapist, So, felt like saying I hate therapists. So I said, okay, I was a psychology major. He goes, okay, well, that's different. I was a therapist. Sounds like you have a lot of things to work through, about men. And I don't have any men issues. I said, I have no men issues. I said, even my son's father, like, it was, like, I forgave him. And he's like, well, why did you have to forgive him? And like, well, this and that. And I'm like, I'm over it because it was time to, like, I'm over it. I don't have any deep-seated issues. The only deep-seated issues, he wouldn't let me finish. Goes by looks. No. He liked me. because he kept saying, I mean, we're animals. We're animals. So obviously we go by looks. So he had to have somewhat of the attraction. And he even wrote it in his first message to me. No, he doesn't. But, okay, you guys, wait. So I hate it when people just write stuff like catfish. He wasn't a catfish. I don't have any doubt that he was catfishing me at all. I have his phone.
I think we'll find that you were catfishing him, though. I wish I knew if I had that picture. Hang on a sec, I'm going to go and look, because I could have sworn I'd saved it at one point. I will be back. I couldn't find it. I even Googled it, but it wasn't there. I don't know what to search. I'm sure I'll find it at some point. But it was her lying back on the settee in a white top with her bleach blonde hair looking that way. And it's like, that's not that. You ought to Google her name sometime. It's hysterical what comes up on the internet. Anywho.
Phone number. He sent me poetry. He sent me his music. It's not that he wasn't going to meet. This is true, Paisley. He is smarter than me. Maybe he's a little bit weird. I mean,
maybe you're a little bit weird. This is true, Paisley. What? What did Paisley say?
Geniuses are weird. So he's like, it sounds like you have like some issues, and I was like, no, I don't have any men issues. And he's like, then, because here was the thing. I didn't want to talk anymore on the phone. I didn't want to spend days. I didn't want to spend days talking on the phone. It was already, did this happen yesterday or Tuesday? It might have happened Tuesday. And to me, this is, okay, so I was saying to him, like, because of experience, so I was saying, I want to, like, talk on the phone, make a date to meet. And he was like, so you're rigid. Which is an insult. Like, I never insulted you. So I said, don't insult me. And he's like, I said, I didn't insult you. And he goes, well, you came at me in the emails. And I said, but we got past that. This is like, this is the first day I've even texted or spoken to him. And we're already fighting. But maybe it is because I was fighting so hard. He did want to meet. You're not letting me finish. Everything sounds fishy. He grew up very wealthy. I'm not upset with anybody. I'm just getting very passionate. That was another thing. I raised my voice a little bit. He goes, why are you yelling? I said, I'm not yelling. I'm just being passionate. Like,
no, you're yelling.
I hate it when people say that because it totally dilutes what I'm trying to say. If I had never, he would have met me. He was like, then why didn't you just ask me out? So I'm like, I'm not going to ask you out. I want you to ask me out. And he's like, what you want? So you want me to? So I said, yes, because I'm not going to ask you out. I can't pay. And he's like, I would pay. So I said, but I don't know that. And it's online dating. I don't expect a guy to pay for me. I always offer. I'm like, do you want to split it? And if the guy's a gentleman, he'd be like, no. Even the guy with the high voice, he was like, no, I asked you out. And
if he's a gentleman. No, it's not always about being a gentleman. What if he hasn't got a lot of money, whoever it was you went out with? What would you have said if they said, oh, great, that'd be a real big help? I'm not that flush this week, or whatever. You'd never bother contacting them again, would you? Probably, knowing you.
And it makes me mad when Burke asks girls out and he's in college and they expect him to pay. Whoever has more money should pay. College student boys should not have to pay to take girls out. They should be offering, and I would do this. It wasn't, but the fighting, he wasn't really fighting with me. If I had never, listen. I hate it when I can't be heard.
Oh, we can hear
Oh
you.
my God, he's nuts. Abigail thinks he's nuts. No, he did drive me bananas. Like everything, I don't know if I could be myself around him. He was intense. But here's one thing that he said. So I was like, then ask me out. And he's like, I'll meet you right now. I was like, it's 11:30. I want to like go on a date. I want to look nice and stuff. And he's like, I don't care about looks. I said, I don't care what you care. It's me. It's me. Well, wealthy, yes, but on a free dating site, the same guys are on Match. Maybe he just he doesn't. I don't think he knows women. He talked about how like women are the most amazing, beautiful, complicated, like smart creatures on this earth. He did advertise a lot of his wealth. Well, no, he didn't say he was wealthy. He said he grew up in limousines and going first class and this and that. And I think, and he's like, he did say, you know, that he doesn't talk about money, but he did. Let's give him a break for a second because maybe he was trying to impress me a little bit, you know? He's not new money. And he wasn't raised by his family. And he walked away from his family's money. He's not in a relationship. Stop hypothesizing. Let's take it for what it is. If I had never said I don't want to talk on the phone any longer without making plans, this whole thing would be moot. He's like, then why didn't you ask me out? And I said, well, I can't pay. And he's like, I would pay. And then I said, and your poems, they made me cry. And he's like, wow, that's honor, you know, like made me feel really good. Like, thank you. And I said, but not because of men, but because of my mother. And then I went off on a tangent. My mother, who had helped me my whole life, took my money and I've been struggling. And sometimes I'm down to $5. Like what 57-year-old sometimes only has $5 in her bank account? I'm like, and you know, I have some health problems and I have nobody. This is what I said. I said, I have nobody.
Wow, and he didn't run screaming at this point? He's a keeper.
If I need groceries, I'm shit out of luck. And he said, he name dropped Trump, Obama. Oh, Lynn, I know, like a lot of people are down to that. And I said, I have nobody to get groceries, like, you know, if I'm sick. And he's like, I would get you groceries. I would go right now if you need groceries, and I would get you groceries. And I said,
She's feeling bad now, isn't she?
then why aren't you wanting to meet with me? And he's like, I don't make plans like that. I don't make plans. And I'm like, we could meet.
You don't talk on the phone. He doesn't make plans. Why is it anything his side, you're rigid?
For sushi. And he's like, there's no good sushi here, because I said that. And then I was like, okay, so where do you want to meet? So where do you want to meet? You want to meet like on a park bench in front of a supermarket? And he's like, no, I would go out and like I would say, let's take a trip to Phoenix. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then I was like, but I don't know you. And he felt that he had exposed himself. Yes, I felt like he was telling the truth. Don't write and then retract your message. He was intense. Everything about him was intense. What do you mean, Holly? If I had never said on the phone, I don't want to talk on the phone, because when he called, I was like, oh, hey, I took my sleeping pills. I'm about to go to sleep. And he's like, oh, you're winding down. Okay. And maybe he said something like, so I'll talk to you tomorrow. And I was like, oh, all right. I said, I really want to meet before, instead of like investing. This is what I said. I pushed that I didn't want to talk. If I had because I didn't let it go, like, because of past experiences, I've invested hours talking to men. Okay, Diane, if this was our first conversation, and supposedly his wife asked him to marry him, so I don't think he was playing games. No, I was my womanly intuition. I blocked him because he was arguing with me on the phone. I was not nervous at all. Listen, you guys aren't letting me finish the part, so I was like...
So stop reading what they're writing and answering them then. You're the one interrupting yourself.
So then let's meet. When do you want to meet? Make a plan. And he's like, I don't make plans like that. Like, okay, you have to understand, you guys, he's not thinking like a woman.
Because he's a man.
Okay, Abigail, he didn't really ask me anything, but I talked to him for 2 hours telling him about me. Like, I told him stories. Okay, nobody would ever be able to catfish me. I don't want to hear about that. Oh, that's like, oh, people get catfished. This would never happen to me. You think I would if I didn't meet him at least in a week, it would be over. Big deal. I don't want to sleep on it. I've slept on it for days. And I've thought, like, I even called Burke and I'm like, I might have met somebody, because I really, talking to him on the phone, he sat and listened to everything I said. We laughed.
See, this is your problem. You go off on a tangent in your head with the whole story. Oh, his youngest is 21. They'd get on really well with Burke, and we'd have family holidays, and oh, it'd be fun at Christmas, and da-da-da-da-da, and you haven't even met him for a drink yet. Burke, I think I met someone. No, you've been talking to somebody on the phone.
Laughed. I was... Okay, what does it mean I don't make plans like that? It means like this, Kathy. I have in my mind a set way that things need to go, because that's me. I've taken care of myself my whole life. I've never had a guy, even Gungor, take care of me. I taught Gungor how to drive. I brought him in this country, taught him how to drive, taught him how to write a check. I wrote his resume. I got him jobs. I do the same for Burke. I'm a mother. I'm very motherly. Why would he use moles if he was... Why would he use moles? His stories are real. Like, I know he's real. That's the thing. Why would he feel the need to name drop? I don't know. Maybe it's a character flaw. Like, maybe because we were talking about Trump. So let's say he really...
How is it a character flaw if he actually met Trump? It's like me saying I turned down Tom Jones for a drink. It's not me name dropping. If we happen to be talking about Tom Jones, I'd say blah blah blah, like he said about Trump. He's not name dropping. You brought Trump up, not him.
He knew Trump because he's been in the music industry and in the entertainment industry. And I was talking about Trump, and he really was at a party with Trump. Wouldn't you want to say it? I don't know the whole Lynn, what you're talking about. I'm not easily scammed. He wasn't trying to scam me. Nobody sends poems that you've written like that showed his underbelly. Like, I wasn't worried about him. What happened was I didn't like that okay, so in my head, because of past experiences that have been so crappy with online dating, I've set these rules, I have lists. Yeah, Donna. No, he has a very regular name. I don't need to research anything about him. I mean, I did Google him, but he has a very like John Brown type name. And I don't care. But does he send the poems to? No, I don't think he does. I don't think he sends the poems, but see, this is the problem. Like if he's meeting women who are saying, oh, Kat, like even like me, I have these stipulations. I'm like, oh, well, we need to talk for this long and then text for this long. And I don't want to invest time in, like, I bet he doesn't send poems to every woman. So he was upset that I couldn't see. He was different. He kept saying that. But I had to have it a certain way that, okay, we'll talk for 2 hours. And then the next day we can text. And then by Friday, he should have asked me out. And I don't think guys are simple. I don't think they think quite that way. And the ones that do are Glens, who are sitting there doing their laundry in the basement of their apartment complex with the quarters and not bothering to think.
A bit like the apartment complex that you're in now. Oh, how the mighty.
Of how they look. And it doesn't even matter if it's online dating. You never know anybody. Haven't you heard of people that have been married for years and they get divorced? Look at Kanye and Kim. People change. People snap. Chris Watts. You never know anybody. I could marry this guy. He could be rich and then he can kill me 5 years down the road. But then at the end, he wrote a quote from somebody. I don't know who needs to hear this, but hyper independence is the result of trauma. I don't need anybody, quote, I don't need anybody and must do everything myself, unquote. Really means, quote, my ability to trust has been injured by people systematically letting me down and failing me. You do need people. We all do. And I just wrote, you're projecting, only because fuck you. You're not getting the last word and you're not insulting me. But the fact is that.
How was that insulting you? He was basically saying what your problem is. See, you're suddenly realising that it was your way or the highway, and maybe you were a bit too obnoxious, and now it's too fucking late.
My mother has done so much damage to me. Right. Once he knew how you needed things to go, I don't understand why it led to an argument. Right. And I said that to him. I'm like, yeah, so I'm telling you what I need.
I bet he's thinking, thank fuck. Why do I want some needy 50-odd-year-old who's still whining about her mother walking out on her and hasn't got a pot to piss in? Such a catch, Laurie, such a catch.
Well, he comes from women that have abused him, so he has his take on it. And it's not just being an independent woman. This was based on, he said, hyper independence. Hyper independence. I'm not, like, I feel like I was having to defend myself all the time. I'm not hyper independent. I have managed to survive. And then he called me rigid because, so when he was like, I was like, I really don't want to talk on the phone before we meet. And he's like, well, I told you, like, I'm not texting and this and that. And I said, okay, all right. And so then I explained to him why, and he was like, oh, so you're rigid. And I was like, no, because I just acquiesced to you. I said I just acquiesced. It's more important for you to talk on the phone than it is for me to text and not talk on the phone. So we'll talk on the phone. And I kept saying, I want to see if there's chemistry. And he could not understand how I couldn't see that there was chemistry. Everybody has emotional baggage. I don't know, Abigail. It seemed like he cared. And maybe I want a guy that's rigid. Maybe I want somebody to take control and for me to lead, for me to be led.
But you'd never let anyone do that. That's the problem.
But I don't know you, Lola. You could be, and I'm not saying you are, but so many women are desperate. They will take anything. And I would rather stay home and chew my gum and spit it in the spittoon than go out on a date. Oh, see, no. We emailed for months before. To me, that says, and I'm not saying you, that is a red flag. Why would you email for months? I don't want to hear anyone else's stories.
No, see, you're not interested in anyone else but yourself. You're rigid.
Because I can't relate. I don't know what kind of woman you are. In 12 years, I've been single my whole life. I've been single since I was 37.
That's not your whole life.
Can't get to know somebody through email. Should I call him online? Should I text him? Okay, so you're a teacher.
That don't impress me
No.
much.
Okay, Lola, it doesn't matter. That was you. I know you're trying to say that it could work out. But to me, any guy that would email for months, I would not want. That's me. Oh, of course. Call him on speaker, like, because you want it. Diane, are you out of your mind? Who wants to have to work to have a relationship? That's what relationships are, work. If you call it will only feed his ego, I don't care. That's spoken like a jilted woman. Judith, you got it.
I wish I could text that quick.
Exactly, Gina. Like, Lola, I don't know you, so I can't be saying it. Yes, I want to hear what you hear. Well, you're not going to, Holly. I'm not putting him on speaker. This isn't about you. Okay, I get what you're saying, Lola.
How do you text that quick? I got fat fingers. I spend all my time pressing the back arrow because I've typed the wrong letter.
Oh, Lola and her husband obviously had chemistry because they got married. So there was chemistry. I, just from experience, have had chemistry with people online, and when I met them, there was no chemistry. I started the argument because I was saying I didn't want to talk on the phone. He never brought up the part. It was one day. Why should he ask me out? This was not like we spoke every day for 2 weeks. And I was like, can we meet already? And he was like, what do we need to meet? This was one day. And I had to have it my way. It had to be no phone.
So you're telling everybody this story because you wanted everyone to tell you that you did the right thing. And by telling everybody this story, you've now realised that you fucked it.
That's all there was. He did. He was like, I can meet you right now. No, I was not self-protecting at all. I was just going by experience that it's never worked out. Like, so now I will not, like, I need to see a recent picture and voice and everything of somebody so that I don't have another Glenn situation. So I would say, so you learn from experience. Yeah, see, I don't care that much about dating. I could have asked him, I could have said, can we meet tomorrow? Oh, and he doesn't drink. That was something I didn't like. Oh, I said, so like, let's meet for a drink. And he's like, I don't drink. So I was like, okay, so you don't drink any liquid beverages? Is that it? Oh, poor Glenn. You know what? Glenn was disrespectful. Showing up like a schlep. Never married.
Showing up like a schlep. I'd love to see what you wore. I've seen some of your outfits.
No life. Am I saying this guy's perfect? No, he has 6 fucking kids and 3 grandbabies.
So move on then.
I know, he doesn't drink.
Neither do you.
Ugh. No, he was not embarrassed. Oh, then he told me he was a gigolo. And he made like $5,000 a night. I didn't listen to that because at that point I was like, oh, shut up already. Here's the thing. He told me so much in that 2 hours. Abigail, every single thing that you have said has been negative. I don't really see any red flags. There were no red flags. There were no red flags.
Whatever.
Finally, he tells the truth. I don't even know. I didn't pay attention to, I don't know if he said 5 grand, 500, whatever. I don't know. He could have been a gigolo once. Like, what are the red flags? There are no red flags. Red flags are that he could be married, that he could be lying about so many things. Those are red flags. None of these were red flags. That's not.
How many times are you going to say red flag?
I don't think he was a narcissist at all.
No, you're the narcissist.
And my mother's a narcissist.
No, she's not. It's you.
That was another thing. He was like, okay, then we can just be friends. Like, I know, but he's a poet, so that's what he said. You guys are very, very myopic in your thinking.
Here we go again.
You're very myopic. You're picking one thing. Oh, he said spread your seed. Yeah, that was gross, but he's a poet, and he's a songwriter and a lyricist. And he's a black guy from LA. Like, I mean, you have to know the vibe. You know, Goldie Hawn uses that terminology about Kurt Russell. Men are programmed, she said, men are programmed to spread their seed. Yes, but he's not like the typical Glenn who emailed me on Monday, texted me on Tuesday, made plans for Friday at 6:30. We'll go out for sushi. Like, he was like, doot, 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 doot. Okay, well, Glenn was...
That's what you wanted, though, wasn't it? So, if you got what you wanted and you didn't like it, maybe go with what you don't want and you might like it.
Like 50. He looked like he was 65. He had never been married, never had kids, had a car that broke down in Las Vegas because of it overheated. He was wearing...
Cars break down. That doesn't say anything about him.
Pants that were too big for him, that had been wrinkled, probably with like New Balance old sneakers, and a navy hoodie. Like...
Like I said, I'd love to know what she wore. Right, I'm going to call it there because I can't keep my eyes open, folks. I'm really sorry. And if you got this far with me, thank you very much. And I will see you in part 4. Will it be part 4? Whatever the hell part it is.